This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of T2 Metals, Mr. Mark Saxon. Mark, it's great to have you on. It's been a bit. I wanted to get an update. How are things, sir?
Gerardo, good afternoon. Good to talk and doing all right. Sitting here in Australia and feeling optimistic about the markets.
Well, listen, the last time we chatted publicly was back in mid-April. You reported results from your first drilling program. Obviously, there was smoke there, no fire, a lot of very interesting hits geologically that will inform future drill programs. But you have a lot on your plate for the second half of the year, and that's why I thought it was important to have you on. Share price has drifted downwards a bit, along with the rest of the sector, right? There's a few exceptions. We joked about, how great it is to be involved with a couple of those exceptions, but for 98% of the market, it's been a sideways to downward trend. And I think that presents an opportunity in the second half, because I actually see a second half of the year where busy companies are going to be rewarded, because I think the macro backdrop for the commodity space is going to be very, very favorable. So you just had some news. You just signed an exploration agreement. I wanted to get the details on that. And then I wanted to set the table for the second half of this year.
For sure, Gerardo, and there's lots in that question and conversation. And then, I agree absolutely. And we're seeing it here in Australia as well. There's been a market easing, a softening, I suppose, across the board for almost every commodity. There's been a lot of IPOs that have come through. There's a lot of listings in Canada and reverse listings in Canada that have happened. And so, the market has been, let's say it's been pretty busy over the last 12 months. So we're going through a period now where sort of investors are reshuffling and focusing on some deals that they've got into, and it's not unexpected, I suppose. So the next half of the year looks good, and I think particularly for battery metals and copper specifically, we saw lithium come off the boil and then find its bottom and then start to move up again. I think that's the way metals are going to trade. A little too soon, too fast with lithium. I think we can say that, but now it's found some really good pricing. For us in copper, we're seeing only positive stories, only positive demand in the market, and maybe it's not next month or the month after, but it's going to be there over the next 6 to 12 months, and the copper price will end the year much higher.
I couldn't agree more, and I think 2024 is going to be really, really fun for those of us that have positioned aggressively in the copper space here with the recent pullback in the price. Let's get into how T2 is going to take advantage of that, because obviously it's a stock that I've recommended to paying subscribers. I'll say it publicly because it's been a bit now and they've had an opportunity to buy in, but I've recommended the company to paying subscribers of one of my paid services on the Digest publishing side of things. And so I wanted to get a good update about the pullback, and I want to get an update on all the activity, because you have a lot going on, as I said up top.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, we're a very technical group. We're focused on our current assets and always looking for new ones. But I guess the one that I want to touch on particularly today is the exploration agreement that we signed during the week. And that's from our Sheridan project, which is up in Manitoba. And the Sheridan district or camp is a famous, very well-known volcanic hosted massive sulfide camp. So it was mined up until the 1950s. Produced around 8 million tons at 3% copper and 3% zinc, plus some silver and gold. So very significant mining operation at that time. Since then, it was explored by Hud Bay. It was explored by Sherritt Gordon, which is now Sherritt, explored by Halo Resources. And all that data, all that knowledge, all of that history has come to us now and to continue with, and it's a great legacy to have. And in that region, in the Manitoba region, we're dealing with a number of local communities and other stakeholders and rights holders, obviously, and so the one that has the rights for the ground where we're working is the Kitchiwappa Cree Nation. And we have just gone through the process of signing an exploration agreement with the Kitchiwappa Cree Nation. And that gives us access to do essentially whatever drilling, whatever access, whatever sampling we need to. It's a very collaborative relationship, and where we do knowledge transfer, we engage with the local people to employ them wherever we can, and provide them with some knowledge and opportunity to be service companies to support us. So great relationship, and we're enjoying working with them, and it gives us a great opportunity to get a lot of work done.
That's a largely de-risked project because of the huge amounts of data that you've had. I know there were some delays a few months back simply because of the volume of data that you had. Can you speak to how you advanced that project forward in a perfect world, which obviously I realize we're not in a perfect world, but if you had it your way, what's the second half look like for advancing that specific project?
Yeah, for sure. And for Sheridan, we raised some flow through money earlier in the year, or sorry, late last year. So yeah, we've got cash in the bank that we'll be spending on that project as we look ahead. But yeah, the project because it's got the village or the town of Cold Lake Sheridan is a very small village there, which is where the Kiciwapa Nation is based. That's our working base, and so we can work all year round. If we look backwards at the work that's happened before, it's around 400 or 500 drill holes that have been drilled in that region. We've got four historic resources that have been drilled out by the previous explorers. And the target at that stage was near surface exploration because quite amazingly, and there's some photos on our website. There's quite a major train line that runs essentially through the project, and that train line connects the village of Sheridan back into Flin Flon, where there's where Hud Bay has a copper concentrator and smelter. So the exploration in the past has always been, okay, can we find near surface mineralization, which has been identified in multiple resources, to get onto the train line and get back in for near term processing. So we have that opportunity because the resources are there. We're looking to extend those resources with additional drilling. But I guess the real excitement of that region is if you look across the border at a company called Foran, and Foran had a very similar kind of start in life. They had a number of near surface resources, started to do deeper exploration, and have found multiple high grade lenses and very, very exciting underground mining opportunities in exactly the same sequence of rocks in the Flin Flon Snow Lake Belt. And so that's really the other opportunity I think that we're excited by. But as you said, it took us a little while because when you take on a project with 400 or 500 drill holes and tens of millions of past exploration, then just got to be cautious. You don't go back to the same places because you've got to know where every drill hole is. Otherwise, you're just going to be repeating the work of the past. And we're in that place now. We know that work history. We know the geophysics. We know the geochemistry and the drilling extremely well. So our work advances the knowledge, and we'll be finding more and more mineralization.
You can explore year round. You have tons of data to help prioritize the targets that you're going to be drilling. You mentioned the tens of millions of dollars that have already been spent de-risking the project for you. What's T2's market cap?
We're sub 10 million, and very, very frustrating. But I'm a long-term thinker, and so our market cap has lots and lots of room to grow. I think is the great opportunity, and again, if we're sitting there at 5 or 6 million Canadian market cap, and our neighbour at Foran is pushing towards 1 billion, then I think that's an amazing re-rating opportunity when we start to do the work that we're going to be doing from now onwards.
It's a lot of runway between 5 and 6 million Canadian and $1 billion. And we're just talking this one project, folks. There's already, several very exciting projects elsewhere in the portfolio here in the US. And Mark, I've known you for a bit now. I think we're going on something like 14 or 15 years. If I know you, I know that you're looking at other projects and other opportunities for when the market turns. We know the market always turns. You mentioned being a long-term thinker. It's paid off in spades in the past. It's paid off recently with some other projects, and I think it's going to pay off once again here with the right backdrop. Anything to add to that?
No, I think as you mentioned, we've got a project in Nevada and a project in Arizona. The one in Arizona called Cora is drill ready, porphyry target with very good historic numbers. We're putting together the work plan and the exploration, the drill contract on that one, and we'll be down there and doing some work on that one as well this year. Very exciting project, really in the heart of all the major copper projects in the US, and I guess our nearest neighbour there is Ivanhoe Electric with their really exciting results that they've been getting. So yeah, we're in a great part of Arizona, and yeah, copper has never been more important in that district and for the US. So yeah, great place to be.
Mark, thanks for that thorough update. Looking forward to doing these more often. Have yourself a great week, and I suspect we'll be chatting again soon. You have a lot of irons in the fire here.
Thanks, Gerardo. Let's chat very soon. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.